What if the one thing you have done every single second of your life, without thinking, without trying, without ever being taught how, what if you have been doing it wrong? Not slightly wrong, catastrophically wrong. And nobody told you. You have taken roughly 20,000 breaths today. You will take another 20,000 tomorrow. You took your first breath the moment you entered this world, and you will take your last breath the moment you leave it. Breathing is so automatic, so invisible, so woven into the fabric of being alive that you have never once stopped to question it. That is exactly the problem. Because somewhere between the ancient human you descended from and the modern human you became, something changed. The way you breathe changed. And that change, quiet, invisible, happening thousands of times a day, has been reshaping your anxiety, your focus, your sleep, your immune system, and the length of your life, one shallow breath at a time. Let us go back. 30,000 years ago, a human being woke up in a cave. No alarm, no screen, no coffee. They opened their eyes slowly, rolled onto their side, and breathed in, deeply, through their nose. Their diaphragm expanded downward. Their belly rose. Their lungs filled from the bottom up. They held it for a moment without thinking about it. Then they exhaled slowly, completely, through their nose again. That breath took about 6 seconds. They did not know it, but that single breath was doing something remarkable. It was activating the vagus nerve, the longest nerve in the human body, running from the brainstem all the way down through the heart, the lungs, and the gut. It was dropping their heart rate, lowering their cortisol, switching their nervous system from threat mode into recovery mode. It was sending a signal to every organ in their body that said, "You are safe." That is what a breath is supposed to do. Now let us come back to you. Right now, as you watch this, how are you breathing? Take a second. Notice it. Are you breathing through your nose or your mouth? Is the breath going into your chest or your belly? Is it fast or slow? Shallow or deep? Most people, when they actually notice their breathing for the first time, are shocked. The breath is in the chest, not the belly. It is through the mouth, not the nose. It is fast. It is incomplete. The exhale cuts off before it is finished. The next inhale starts too soon. This is called chronic hyperventilation. And research suggests the majority of people in the modern world do it all day long without ever knowing. Here is why that matters. When you breathe too fast and too shallow, you exhale too much carbon dioxide. And here is the part that nobody tells you. Carbon dioxide is not just a waste gas. It is a trigger. It is the signal your blood uses to release oxygen to your tissues. Without enough CO2 in your bloodstream, your red blood cells hold onto their oxygen instead of releasing it. Your muscles, your organs, your brain. They all get less oxygen even though you are breathing constantly. You are breathing more and oxygenating less. It gets stranger. Low CO2 from overbreathing causes blood vessels to constrict, including the blood vessels in your brain. This means that when you are anxious and breathing fast, your brain is actually receiving less blood flow at the exact moment it needs the most. The anxiety makes you breathe faster. The faster breathing makes your brain less oxygenated. The less oxygenated brain becomes more anxious, which makes you breathe faster. You have been spinning in this loop your entire life. Now let us talk about your nose. Because most people have forgotten it exists as a breathing organ. The nose is not just a smell detector. It is one of the most sophisticated air processing systems ever evolved. When air enters through your nose, it gets filtered, warmed, humidified, and pressurized before it reaches your lungs. Nose breathing produces nitric oxide, a molecule that dilates blood vessels, kills pathogens, and improves oxygen uptake by up to 18%. The sinuses act as a resonance chamber, slowing the breath naturally and creating back pressure that keeps the airways open. Mouth breathing does none of this. Mouth breathing delivers cold, dry, unfiltered air directly into the lungs. It bypasses the entire nasal processing system. It increases the likelihood of infection, disrupts sleep, collapses the airway during rest, and accelerates the rate of breathing, which, as we just established, is the opposite of what your body needs. And yet, the majority of people alive today are chronic mouth breathers. At rest, during work, during sleep, through the night, jaw hanging open, pulling air in through the mouth in short, rapid cycles. There is a researcher named James Nestor who spent years investigating the science of breath. He conducted a remarkable self-experiment with a colleague at Stanford University. For 10 days, they plugged their noses completely and breathed only through their mouths. The results were published and documented. Within days, both men developed sleep apnea. Their snoring increased by 4,820%. Their blood pressure rose. Their blood oxygen dropped during sleep. Their stress hormones increased. Their cognitive performance declined. 10 days of mouth breathing essentially gave two healthy men the symptoms of a chronic illness. Then they switched. 10 days of nose-only breathing. Everything reversed. Sleep improved. Blood pressure dropped. Snoring nearly disappeared. They felt, by their own account, transformed. The difference was the breath. Now here is where it gets philosophical. The ancient world knew this, not through scientific instruments or blood oxygen monitors. They knew it through thousands of years of observation and practice. The Sanskrit word for breath is prana. The Chinese word is qi. The Greek word is pneuma. Every ancient civilization on Earth had a word for breath that also meant life force, spirit, energy, something bigger than just air moving in and out of lungs. They were not being mystical. They were being precise. The Taoists of ancient China practiced breathing exercises for thousands of years before Western medicine discovered the vagus nerve. Pranayama in yoga, the systematic control of breath, predates modern neuroscience by 3,000 years. The Wim Hof method, the Buteyko Technique, holotropic breathwork, all of these are modern rediscoveries of something ancient humans already understood intuitively. Your breath is a lever, and you can pull it. Unlike your heart rate, which you cannot consciously control. Unlike your digestion, which runs without your input. Unlike your immune response, which operates invisibly in the background. Your breath sits at a unique intersection. It runs automatically when you ignore it, but it responds immediately and powerfully when you take control of it. This makes it the most accessible portal into your own nervous system that exists. When you slow your exhale to twice the length of your inhale, you activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest response, within seconds. When you breathe at a rhythm of roughly 5 to 6 breaths per minute, instead of the average 15 to 20, your heart rate variability increases, your stress hormones drop, and your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for clear thinking and emotional regulation, comes back online. This is not meditation. This is not spirituality. This is basic physiology that has been available to you every second of your life, and nobody taught you how to use it. Think about what that means. Every time you felt your anxiety rising and reached for your phone. Every time you felt overwhelmed and could not think clearly. Every time you lay awake at 3 in the morning with your thoughts racing. Every time your heart pounded before something important. In every single one of those moments, the solution was already inside you, happening 20,000 times a day, waiting for you to notice it. You just never learned to use it. There is a moment in every person's life, and maybe this is yours right now, where you realize that the most powerful tools you have are not outside you. They are not in an app, a supplement, a productivity system, or a self-help book. They are biological. They are ancient. They are running right now inside your body. Your breath is one of them. So here is what I want you to do. Not someday. Right now, as this video ends. Breathe in through your nose for 4 counts. Hold for 1. Breathe out through your nose for 8 counts. Do that 3 times. You will feel something shift. It will be subtle. A slight loosening behind the eyes. A small drop in the shoulders. A quiet that was not there a moment ago. That is not a trick. That is 20,000 years of human engineering doing exactly what it was designed to do. You have been breathing your entire life. Starting right now, you can do it right.